Hey guys, how's it going? Sunday, July 18th, 2021. And another weekend has come and gone. This one flew by. It was actually boring as hell yesterday. Believe it or not. It was, well, at least it was during the day. Did do some rail fanning. Could not get the drone up. And wound up seeing 4 trains, which was okay. I mean, I got out there with my friend John, because Emmett had his 13th birthday, so that's in the books now. So he was with his mom most of the day yesterday, and we made up for it today, of course, as usual. So I had plenty of, I mean, I had him for a full week, or a full week plus, actually. On the vacation prior week. So as I was doing the last stream, the ATS stream, so that was cool. Got that going. Don't know how well it does on the channel. I'm not too worried about it at the moment. It is what it is. But one thing that's definitely changed this week when I got back, vacations kind of reset my focus quite a bit. And I wasn't coming up with a lot of ideas. My son wasn't coming up with a lot of ideas. The ideas did start coming in afterwards because I had time to reflect on things. It didn't happen until I came back. It was kind of weird. I had fun on it. Trainz is a hobby. I wish I could have flown this weekend. I missed doing that this weekend. In fact, I should have flown today. Should have got out today. It was a little humid. Didn't really feel like staying in a car again, be it with air conditioning or not. My son wasn't in any hurry to go out yesterday either, or today I should say. Not yesterday. Yesterday he was with his mom, and it rained the entire day here. Tonight was humid, but I got out for a walk. Just got back, breathing a little heavy, so that's good. Always a good sign. Get some good exercise in. I need to lose weight again, but it's not too bad. But both my son and I need to lose weight. He needs to lose a bit more than I do, but that's okay. So try to not get into bad habits if we can. So anyways, still when we like to get out. We like to get some exercise, go out there. I spend the evenings during the summer because I just can't stand the humidity. If the humidex is above 30 degrees Celsius, I don't bother. I don't wear shorts in the summer. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I could. I find it doesn't matter with me. I got quite a bit of body hair, let's just say. So I find, unless I shave my legs, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, I just find it's not worth the effort to bother, so I don't bother with that. Top of my head's plenty of air conditioning, but that's what happens with age. Anyways, enough about my hair. Let's get on to what I wanted to talk about. So the focus, like I said, it has changed. I was actually kind of down earlier this week because I couldn't get things to work. I still couldn't get another idea of mine that kind of came up to work, and that was more with Run8. Now, if you ever want to figure out where my head's at, Run8's a take it or leave it. It always has been. I shouldn't say it always has been, but it has been for apparently a year and a half. I can't believe it's been a year and a half, but it's been a year and a half. What's crazy about that was I was holding out a year and a half ago, thinking version 3 was right around the corner, and it didn't happen then. It still hasn't happened. I made a smart ass comment today on Trainz, and it's all smart ass comments. It's not, it's just one of those things. I'm just gonna keep making smart ass comments whether they like it or they don't. That's just the way I am. Like I said, got my money's worth. It's the best thing. It's disappointing that things aren't progressing as well as I'd like to see them, but that's the way it is. But I got triggered last week, and I recognized it. I knew it then, but I didn't want. My ego didn't want to admit it, and then my ego took over. So what my ego did was, you got this Brad 8675309, as I like to call him, or whatever his stupid number is after his name, whatever it means, I don't know. But if you don't know that number, look up an 80s song called Jenny. But anyways, enough said. So he's going on telling people like, it ain't gonna work. You're not gonna get AI and all this other crap. And it's kind of funny because he's on my ignore list, but I still view his posts. It's really stupid. Way too much real estate in my brain. I shouldn't worry about these people, but again, he's community, and he actually does have some good things to say. So one of the things he did mention, though, was over on the Train Sim forum, as usual, he did mention to somebody that from what he understood, at least in his opinion, you're not going to see any AI. And I kind of knew that because AI has never been mentioned. The closest thing that the Run8 team has even considered using more additional AI is I think it took them a lot to do AI for the dispatching, or not the dispatching, AI train movements, and it works. It works real well. The trains themselves move, so that was a huge step. It made version 2 really, really great. It was the expansion that started killing things, and then the dying out of some of the smaller servers, in my opinion. But once you had so many routes and nothing else new was coming, and all those little older routes and older things that were supposed to come along never came. Alaska Railroad never came. A lot of different little projects, they just never happened. That was when I just, it was kind of the writing was all on the wall for me then. And, small regions was talked about a while ago. There's been health issues. There's been all kinds of things. I don't know. It is what it is. So that happened. And I'm now going to lose my brain. I do not want to lose my train of thought on that. But anyways, let me just continue now that it's back. I think it's old age or dementia setting in, or who knows what else with me. Seriously, my brain, I'm getting more and more brain farts lately, and the medication that I'm on doesn't help. But anyways, gotta take it. So it's basically allows me to drive. So fun. So what was said in this forum post basically it kind of reaffirmed what I already knew, but it also was a challenge. And I was going to do this before anyways, and I actually was really keen on doing it before. I got the guy from TSCAD was before TSCAD was actually released was trying to help me. John Greenstone, even, I know he tried to help me at one time, or at least push me in the right direction. What he said didn't make much sense. He kind of said it in simple terms, what needs to be done to get the external dispatcher to work. And what I mean by that is to have the protocol. So I opened up Run8 for a member of my forum who is testing a server. And sure enough, when I opened it up, unless this is a backup, which I don't think it is, as far as I know, the last time I had a save was at the end of 2019. If that's the case, then sometime around 2019, at the very beginning of 2020 at the earliest, was the end of my last use of Run8. And it's been almost a year and a half. So, or pretty much a year and a half. And I was quite surprised. It was just like, that much time has gone by, and what the hell? I know I got into Trainz. I know I started trying to get into other things. And I just could not get traction. And time moves on. It's like, so I've done the Unity thing. I've tried to do it. Unity is got a lot of stuff, and there is a lot of information out there. There's a lot of tutorials on how to build your first game and do this and do that, and it just, to do the level of what I want to do, it's just, I'm never going to be happy and satisfied. It's going to take me a long, long, long time to do what I want. That doesn't mean RTS is dead. It just means it isn't going to happen in that form. I'm not going to be creating a simulator from scratch. I'm just not equipped to do so. And admitting to that is actually relief. Because the fact that I admit it, the fact that I realize I can't do it, it's just not in my skill set. Number one, I don't like programming, so you got to have fun doing it. You got to have the brain power to do it. And what I mean by that is you got to be able to remember what you said in your last sentence, let alone what the hell you're doing in lines of code that haven't yet been commented and all this other stuff. And you got to be able to learn new stuff and adapt to it rather quickly. So, and I know C is no walk in the park. C was one of the more difficult languages I found. It is very logical. It's very logical. It's very I shouldn't say it's very easy to understand, but it's very, like, it's you can look through it and you can basically see, no pun intended, what it's doing. But it's not the most user-friendly language. It's not syntax, it's not syntax oriented as much as some, like a basic. It's certainly not a Visual Basic. It's not, and I think they have Visual C and a few other things, but I wanted to get something that was going to work with Unity, and C# was the ideal candidate. And I thought about other plans with Unity, but I went on the trip and I came back. I wasn't looking forward to getting back to the computer. I told my son that, and he agreed, and he was the same way. We were on this trip coming back, despite my exhaustion, and despite feeling, I was just exhausted coming back. I was like, how am I gonna do this? I mean, here's nice drone shot from my trip, actually, from Sudbury Yard. So I have images. I've taken video. I think I went through a little bit of it, but anyways, um, yeah, I haven't had the drone up since. So, not Sudbury. I think I have it up. I had it up in on the way back. I had it up in Perry Sound, but other than that, that was it. Perry Sound was the last time I flown the drone, and you know, I could have had it out today, but chose not to. It was too hot, and you know, didn't know what I was gonna have my subject on other than just flying around here, which I've done before. So, yeah, I was hoping to fly more. Unfortunately, there was just too much travel and not enough enjoying different places. I think had we stopped at Thunder Bay, I think that would have been, like my son was even saying, Thunder Bay would have been a cool place to stop and stay there 3 days. And I said, yeah, I know. Especially the view we had. That's like, man, had I done that before and just requested, and it's something to consider. Like even that little long stretch there, just staying in Thunder Bay and then having the nice spot in Sudbury, that would have been nice. Maybe next time. Thunder Bay was certainly explorable, but it wasn't meant to be. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. So we had a fun time. There was some ups and downs, but we had a fun time. And I wasn't looking for. I didn't miss the computer. I didn't miss. I missed wrestling a little bit. I was looking forward to it. Got back into that real quick. No problem. I knew I was gonna have no problem. I didn't want to get back into American Truck Simulator right away. In fact, I didn't want to get back to anything right away, and I didn't. It took me 2 days to recover. I enjoyed going to work, which was really weird. Getting back to work, and I actually was enjoying it. I was kind of looking forward to it. It was really weird. I'm like, I guess I wanted to get back into the routine. But all I wanted to do was, I looked at the video, I went over the video, I was trying to find videos on nature. I even said on the trip home, I said, I got to get myself some land and get a homestead somewhere out away from the city and get away from the city. I mean, that's the ultimate for me. I'm not going to do it at my job. I can't do it at my job, and right now I don't think I can retire from my job. At least not yet. But, man, if I could do something like that, holy crap, that'd be awesome. And the thing is, the cost of living for doing something like that isn't that huge. So, who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll have enough saved up and I'll just go for it and, take it from there and see what other money I can get out. Get a part-time job or something online or whatever. And I don't know. It's just something in the back of my mind. It just seems to appeal to me to get away from all this, including the technology. But having said that, technology is fun. It's a fun diversion. I have to go to work tomorrow. That's what brings in the money. So my work week begins. The time in between, you can't always get out every place. You can't fly a drone every weekend. You can't do certain things. So you need things not only on the weekends, but you need things on weeknights to kind of get you through that. And I was losing that. I knew I like Monday and Tuesday, I was just like, wow, something was changing. And then I don't know, it was like Wednesday, Thursday last week, I started coming up with these ideas. I got into this whole ruckus over on Trainz, got triggered, let my ego take control. The whole Run8 thing, that's ego. You know, I admit that. It was all ego. That was totally ego driven. I wasn't going to build an AI dispatching system for my own benefit. I was doing that just to show I could do it, to show these clowns that it can be done. Because the truth is, it can be done. If I was more chummy with the Run8 team still, and I didn't basically tell it like it is and say, call a spade, and basically act, not try to act like the guardians of Run8 just because I was a beta tester. The benefits for me for a beta tester was I was able to get a server up, and I was able to get a good start on Run8. I was able to get that first server up. I was the first Run8 server. I was able to, I shouldn't say I was the first Run8 server, I was the first Run8 public server, because I was already established through the beta. I had everything already set up, tested. People would test through my server towards the end, and that's how things started to, take place. And I don't think that's a violation of any NDA saying that. I mean, it was obvious. I was the server. That don't mean diddly squat. That was my part. And the rest is, that was a small portion. They could have ran a server anywhere, and I think we ran a server on others too, if I recall. But I know a lot of times it ran on mine because I was doing things. I was starting to develop RTS already. So I had a good head start. I knew what I wanted to do. I had massive ideas. I knew I had the tool I knew I had the engine to do it. And it was an amazing 8-9 years, whatever the hell the run was. I went through, because I was trying to, I was actually looking for emails from John Greenstone, just to see if I could find that email from John where I have all my emails. And I was looking for an email from John where he may have told me as far as how to do it, as far as how to get the thing communicating, but I believe that was on a forum somewhere. So where that is and what memory hole it was it over on Depot, was it over on Dams, was it over on who knows where, I have no idea. Could be somewhere in Trainz. Beats the hell out of me, but I don't have that information. It's down the memory hole. And it's not a big deal because I don't think he gave me enough information. He gave me some vague starting blocks, and I did not have C# at the time. He said you needed, that was ideally what you needed. He even was looking for that. I know he was looking for that when I first started, if I had programmed in C#. And I believe that's what it's written on. I'm not positive on that. But, so I, at the time I didn't want to even touch C. Like, nah, I could do it, but I really didn't want to go near it. So I just did my own thing, and, that was it, because I was offering, whatever I could do to help the team. I was certainly all for it. But, yeah, where things are now, I have no freaking clue. It'll be ready when it's ready. Somebody made it, and the joke that was on the forum this week, what was it? This weekend was, somebody was asking, I forget the joke. You'll have to go on Trainz. It might have been removed by now, but I made some smart ass comment. Oh no, I said, yeah, that's what I said. I said I'll be dead when I'm dead or something like that. But I don't know. Whatever. It's I waited 1.5 years too long to. I shouldn't say I waited the whole time. I mean, I pushed ideas. At least I found some of the things that worked, some of the things that didn't work. Good thing is I did learn Trainz enough that that is going to be probably the engine that is going to push RTS forward once again. And you might think, why am I getting back into Trainz? I haven't even touched it yet. And the plan that I'm looking at is, as far as RTS goes, RTS, I'm going to probably have the car database software and the waybill generator and all that other stuff, similar to what Run8 had, except it's not going to be integrated unless I can figure a way how to do it. It's not because it's all single player and set up, and a lot of the AI functions are available. I'm not worried about it being, I can do a lot of things on the fly. It's not a big deal. So it doesn't have to be as quick and automated as it was for Run8. All it has to do is give me the functionality that I need. It needs to have I want it to have a type of yard management system so that I can easily assign yard tracks, do what I have to do in advance before I make the moves on the trains. That'll help me possibly create some AI scripting, and I will be able to get the trains to behave somewhat autonomously. It won't be perfect. It will be, autonomously with some manual intervention, which is fine. The way I'm going to do it is I am looking for a either randomly generated DEM, or I'm going to pick a location somewhere in North America, likely the United States, even though I am from the Canadian side, which is the west side of the river here, which is on the right-hand side. The image you're looking at, that's Buffalo, New York on the west. Fort Erie, Ontario was to the right. That's a little south of here. I'm on the northern end of the, which is off the shores of Lake Ontario in the city of St. Catharines. So, I'm not doing Niagara. As much as I've done the research for it, and as much as I know about Niagara, I don't know everything about Niagara still. I had a choice to do the vacation this year. We could have stuck around Niagara, but we did that last year with the whole plan. Or sorry, did I say pandemic? Oops, pandemic, and everything else going on. So we stayed around here. Everything was pretty much shut down. Fortunately, things were pretty much opening up when we went on our vacation, so that was good. Canada's still a lot more locked down than our friends in the United States, but the border is practically useless for non-commercial travel at this point. Even though it's right there, and the United States is. They seem to be fine, but somehow once you cross the border, it's magically worse or something. I don't know. Whatever. Niagara's fine. There's hardly anybody that has cases, but whatever. It's such a friggin' joke. I mean, yes, people get sick, people die. Yes, we understand. Don't get me started about this COVID shit. Anyways, so Get off of that. 11:15. I don't care. I feel like staying up. I like to extend my weekend. So what else is happening? So yeah, we do that. That'll be one of my things moving forward. The other thing is that I am doing moving forward is outside of the train realm, and that is American Truck Simulator. I didn't get back into it right away. And the reason why at first I didn't want to get back into it right away because I had just drove for over 4,000 kilometers across a 10-day trip. I really didn't feel like driving anything simulated. I didn't feel like driving any trains. I didn't feel like doing much anything on a computer or otherwise. I just wanted to actually chill out that last day I had before I went back last week. This weekend was a little different. I actually think as of early as Friday, I think maybe Thursday, I started running. No, I did Entropia Universe at first. Kind of got me into the outdoorsy thing, which I liked. I also knew that I let it expire. There was a sale that expired on the 9th when I was on the trip. I could have picked up some routes then, or some not routes, some states then, but I missed out on that sale. But then there was another sale, and yet again Utah was available for a nice price, so I picked up Utah. And then tonight we picked up the final two, and that I was missing, and that was the original New Mexico, which was like $3 or something, and there was even a for an extra $2 I got 3 other things. Well, actually, it was a 4 thing. It was a bundle pack, and it was on sale for 75%. I ended up getting 30% because I owned one of the heavy haul, but I got 3 other things. I forget what I got, but anyways, I got them. Something to do with wheels and tires and something, I don't know, but anyways, cool. Don't know if I'll ever notice it, or at some point I'm sure I will, but cool. So I've got that. Haven't looked at any of it really. Didn't quite make it to Colorado before 11 o'clock or before 10 o'clock tonight, and my son he was supposed to go up at 9. He stayed an extra hour just to try to get a few things done, and we explored most of Utah, so that was cool. Or the main arteries anyways. But now, holy crap, did the network really expand. I haven't quite taken a look at it yet. But yeah, there's some once the network expands and you have all these different options, it really opens up some of the different routes that you get to take. And it's amazing, the spider web of interstate highways and even some of the back roads that sometimes they get you to take, which are shorter than the interstates. And there's a lot of ways into these states, in and out of these states. So yeah, it's gonna be cool, I think. And if there's detours, there'll be easier ways to get around them, although not as prototypical as a real detour would be if there was an accident. There's ways of getting around them, so that's cool. But that's going to be a thing. And Scott's getting into I got him pumped up to get involved with ATS as well, and we're going to do some convoys by the sounds of it. So that might start as early as, who knows, maybe, I wouldn't say tomorrow. Could be Wednesday, I don't know. Hard to say. We'll see what happens. I'll probably live stream that. It's really cool too. And here's the thing, and the reason why I mention ATS a little bit here, and I know, generally my group who watch are Trainz. I get that. Here's the thing about ATS, okay? I'm going to compare it to Run8. because, in my opinion, American Truck Simulator is the best truck simulator out there. I don't know that for sure because I haven't really seen the competition, but as far as I know, it is the best. And it's the best in eye candy. It's the best in functionality. I've never driven a truck. I don't know people who have who can swear by this or anything like this, so I don't have that professional opinion. But the reason why I got involved in American Truck Simulator to begin with was when so this was over 5 years ago, because I remember it was over 5 years ago. So I've been involved, not just ATS, I should say. I was into Euro Truck, which same company, migrated into ATS a couple years back when that became available, and the whole reason why I got into that was because I wanted to be a truck driver. And as goofy as it sounds, I wanted to learn some of the techniques of backing up, because that was one of the things I feared the most, was backing up a trailer. The funny thing was, although not nearly as complicated, you get an idea of how to back up a trailer when you finally actually back up a real trailer. And I didn't have that opportunity because I never had a vehicle with a trailer until last year. We had a dump run, and I finally had this small little trailer on the back of my van at work. And I was like, my boss said, "Oh yeah, it's no problem. It's easy." Of course, it's easy for him. And I'm thinking to myself, it's easy for me. The funny thing was, I kind of think, okay, wow, this is just like American Truck Simulator, right? And then, of course, I'm totally disoriented by looking backwards and trying to steer, and you got to use your mirrors because you got to do it that way. You want to go right, you go you go right. It's totally different than backing up the vehicle. You go the opposite way. Just the way the hitch works. So you're turning left, and you're turning left, and your back tires go one way. Anyways, needless to say, it didn't prepare me that well. But what it does prepare you for is I think positioning your truck, getting it into certain positions, different methods of getting into tight spaces and stuff like that. I always try to, when I'm into this ATS, and I've got there, my son's like, "You only get 70 XP for parking a truck." And I says, "That's hardly anything compared to the run you just made." He says he never does that. He always does "I'm busy, just park my truck." And I says that's not the point. I just like doing it. It's just like him. He won't put the signal lights on. He won't use the signal lights. He won't use the flashers. I think he even cuts off people all the time. He doesn't care. And I'm like, okay, well, at the same time, I'm running through accident scenes trying to get around detours that piss me off. But anyways, you guys got that on the other night. I did that, but no, it's just like I do it because I want to. I want the challenge. It's a challenge for me to do it, so that's why I do it. It's part of the fun, and that program, not only does it beat Trainz as far as how the nights are, that is the best night simulation I've seen in the lighting and how the lighting should be. It is just really, really cool. I plan on running 24 hours a day once I get my things going, and I know the lighting's not going to be as good as that. But I'll tell you something. I'll take Trainz over trying something myself and wanting to even compare graphics on a first-time developer of a 3D program. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to come anywhere close to it. I'll be lucky to get MSTS levels. Quite frankly, I don't think I could get I don't know if I could get MSTS levels. I don't think I don't know. Maybe I can. Maybe the technology's there. I don't know. But I doubt it. I mean, Run8 does a good job. They have a small team, but they've spent a lot more time doing these things and doing doing their reskins and all that other stuff, and cars and routes, and building routes for years for Microsoft Train Simulator. So they know what they're doing. Excuse me, just having a drink here. But no, I just it's too much. So I would rather use something that play to my strengths. My strengths is data. And I was talking to Paul. Paul had some. This is my friend who lives. Actually, this is Welland right here, what we're looking down at. And I asked him, because he had experience inside the yard in Welland for CP, where at the time they were using. They had a guy in there who was doing the yard work or the office work. So they had a Merlin system that actually does the way bills or something. They had two computers. They had one that did the thing, and I asked him. I says, "Is there a graphical display, or is it?" He says, "No. It was like a text-based thing." He said, there was a column that would tell you all the things, and he says it's kind of like copying and pasting. He said you were basically selecting the cars that you were wanting to go from one track and moving it over to another. I said, "Oh, okay." I said, so that kind of gave me ideas of how I want to do my my yard management system. So I thought that's kind of cool, and I'm going to probably play it something like that. So RTS is probably going to go back into the Just Basic as a coding. I can do some. I don't need to do graphics, actually. As far as I know, I can do it in Just Basic. But I'm going to make it a better console system. I'm not too sure how, or it's going to be much more user friendly. But it will be something that is available to Trainz users, and I'm not going to be selling it. It's going to be freeware. It's going to be available, and hopefully it's something that the Trainz community can use. And for me, it's something that I know I can do because it's data. And despite the fact that I don't like programming, this is something that I shouldn't have a problem doing. And my target is to have it ready by the fall. Because despite the fact that I plan on, creating this route and all this other stuff, the fact of the matter is I am picking an area. I'm going to go with the yard. The yard's going to be the first focus, just like I was going to do in Port Robinson. The problem I ran into Port Robinson was I didn't know what the elevation of the actual track was. Here, I'm actually taking a freelance approach where I don't care. As long as it's realistically accurate, I don't care. I'm going to be going into some of my books. I'm going to be looking at grade profiles. Some of my CP grade profiles, and see what they're like, see what it's like, because I know I have a CP schedule in here that shows me grade profiles. In fact, I may still consider doing CP as opposed to CN, which would be very, very strange if I decide to do it. I still have Niagara available. If I all of a sudden decide, holy crap, I'm going to switch over to CP as opposed to CN, that's going to be wild. But in theory, I could do it because there was one scene I was really looking forward to. So, like I said, in theory, I could do it. I just don't know if I want to. And that would still give me the connection at. It would still give me the connection going through up to Southern Yard, actually. So I would have Southern Yard, which is just south of Port Robinson. I'd have all of CN from Southern Yard up to do the connection with them. I wouldn't bother with anything CN beyond that, and I just do the CP portion, and then have the track going up to Fort Erie. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have the Fort Erie interchange with Ennis and all that other stuff. I probably, who knows what I would use that for. In fact, Fort Erie, I don't even know if I would bother doing too much other than having. I mean, there's that one side. There's one siding. There's one siding up by thing. It doesn't even use signals on the CP portion of the Hamilton sub. It's all OCS, Occupation Control System here in Canada. It's like track warrant. So, I don't know if I'll do that or not. I'd rather just create something myself, and it's more fun to create. It's more fun to create because the prototype's not perfect, and then you know what how many trains you want to run, and you can change up everything. Do change the trains numbers, do whatever the hell you want. But I still believe in being prototypically sound. I want to have an operation. I believe in operations. I believe in having, trains have a purpose. So I don't want to just run trains for the sake of running trains. I want to have a nice operation in place. I get to explore all kinds of cool assets, like industries and stuff like that. One of the first industries I tried was a nice lumber place, and I do plan on having lumber. I'm looking possibly at, I've thought about doing something similar, and I know, I'm not sure. I kind of want to have something similar to, I guess, I kind of had ideas from this last trip that we were on, now that I think about it. Just getting into some type of lumber operation. There was a paper mill where we were at in Fort Francis. There's a lumber mill as well that wasn't too far away. So had a lot of that, so that kind of gives me ideas, but then I can maybe bring it up a little further, something along the foothills of the Rockies. I know there's routes available for all that stuff, and I don't know what industries, if any, are simulated in some of these products. But I don't want to have the transcontinental main line either, so who knows. I just want something fun. Have a forested area at the foothills, and then who knows? I'll make it a secondary line, and then we'll figure out the rest. Perhaps with an interchange with BNSF. That'd be kind of cool, and then almost have like a Thunder Bay type. Have CN come in and interchange there, and have their interchange. CN crosses CP, and BNSF comes in there. Thunder Bay is really an interesting place. I don't know if I can do a demo of that. probably can. I don't know what the yards are, and maybe I should just, I don't know. I could try something similar to that, but I don't know if I would do it. I could probably just do it my own way and just say, okay, well, this is how I would lay out the tracks, and this is how I would lay out the yards, and just do a dem of Thunder Bay and say, okay, well, here you go. Doesn't, is what it is. So maybe I'll just do that. Do a Proto Lance version of Thunder Bay. It's a possibility. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just babbling along here. Be kind of cool. So, yeah, get some ideas anyways. So anyways, we had the ups and downs. Those are going to like it. Thanks for the likes as always. I'm going to end this for now and get myself ready to bed. Woke up at 9 o'clock this morning, so I'm not really that tired yet. But anyways, I need to wind down, so get to bed before midnight. So anyways, guys, have a good one. I might have more updates. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a live stream with Scott later this week, and we can do some ATS. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool with the ATS too. The multiplayer too, and it's got the onboard radio. That's kind of neat because I did a radio check, and sure enough, people could hear me. So you don't need Teams or anything like that. You just do your thing, and away you go. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not, it's just something for Scott and I to do. Otherwise, I'm not really care. But if you guys want to run convoys with us, let us know. I'll post on my forum too when I get a chance or when I think about it. Anyways, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.